Here's the reality. Your book isn't struggling because it's not good enough. In fact, it absolutely is. It's struggling because, for whatever reason, you're waiting. Momentum doesn't come later, it doesn't happen by accident. It only exists when you are present, you are intentional, and you are consistently sharing that message of what that book covers and that that book is available for people to the world. And today we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I'm a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 40 books and counting. Over the course of the last 40 years in business, I've been so blessed to work with over 5,000 authors, helping them. Yes, absolutely, we have 100% success making books bestsellers, but more importantly, doing the things that make you be able to be visible and valuable, to make the impact in this world that you are meant to make, to do the things that only you can do, and be the person that only you can be in this world. Somebody's waiting on you. There is somebody right now that absolutely is wanting, even needing what you have to offer to the world. But unless you are consistently sharing it, they're not going to be, coming to your house, knocking on your door, and asking you if you've got something that they need. We have to share our message with the world. That's our part of being given that message and having it to be able to give to the world. I want that for you. And I know that deep down inside you absolutely need that. So let's look at some of the elements of what it takes to be visible, truly visible, ongoingly, because it isn't that you wrote the wrong book. You wrote what came out of your heart and soul and the core of who you are. There are a ton of things that especially author agents and book publishers can get all critical about your book, because really honestly, they're not looking at impact. They're looking at how much money can they make from it. And they're critiquing a whole bunch of other things that don't really serve you. Everything up to and including, does this clash with current clients that we have? Would there be a client that is a big author that we would lose if we brought on this person who has a differing opinion? That's why often you see the publishers that are publishing the books for, and I'm just using these as a perfect example, for, the hosts of shows on Fox News. Typically, there is a different publisher that is the ones that are publishing the books for the hosts that are on CNN. It's not about which one is right or which one is wrong. It's about the philosophy of what they've gotten, and it's about the fact that when the authors that they've already worked with that have made them millions of dollars want to bring out their next book, they don't want them to say, I'm not going with you this time because you published so-and-so's book. That's one of the dirtiest little secrets of the publishing industry is that, they will absolutely shelf a book if they can get somebody better. And that's another reason why I'm such a huge proponent of self-publishing, is because then you are in control. You can put the book out there. You also have all the capability to do, number one, the SEO, so that it's set up right with the right keywords, categories, descriptors, those kind of things to make the impact that the book truly can make. But then secondly, so that you can on the fly do, changes in pricing schemas, you can have and run. And I often, especially when you first start into the marketing of your book, I often suggest to people to drop from whether it's $9.99 or it's $2.99, to drop your ebook, not the print book price, but the ebook price down to like 99 cents, and do a bunch of other additional marketing things that the book becomes eligible for that. Now, in addition to that, Amazon allows you up to 5 free days to give away the book for free, for five total days every 3-month period. And I absolutely suggest you do that. It will totally tweak your algorithm. Whether you get one person that gets it or you get 100. Now, you got to let people know about that. It's not magic. You're not just going to magically be in the category, and because you happen to be in a category and the book is free that day, that means thousands of people are going to flock to it. But if you let people know, hey, I'm doing it again, just like I do every couple of months, I've got the opportunity for you to go out and get my ebook today for free. And you do it for a couple of days, and then you wait a couple of weeks or a couple of months and you do it. You've got a total of 5 days every single 3 months. And if you use that, now think about, if let's use a really, really small number, okay? Let's use the number 10. All right. If you got 10 people that got your ebook for free, and I'm talking total over those 5 days, okay? So I'm not talking about a huge number, all right? If you got 10 people that every 3 months got your book, okay, each time, all right, that's 2 a day over 5 days. I mean, that's not a lot, okay? I'm really intentionally going with small numbers, because really normally when I use this example, I talk about 10 in an hour, okay? But 10, 4 times a year, basically, that's 40 additional sales of your book. Let me put that into perspective for you. Statistically speaking, Amazon, more than anything else, they love statistics these days. Statistically speaking, that would mean that your book has sold as many or more copies than the average book sells. The average book on Amazon sells 40 copies ever in its lifetime. You've got a methodology with that. I just totally gave it to you for free. You don't have to pay me a dime for it. You've got with that the capability to sell as many copies every year as most books sell ever in their lifetime. Cheesy and ZKL and General, glad to have you here with us. So glad that you guys are joining us. It's so important because, again, the reason why we're not moving is because, well, we're not moving. I know I use a lot of things like, the way to be visible is to be visible, right? I get that. But waiting to market your book, waiting for, this particular time of year, people are always asking me, they're like, when's the best time to launch my book? And I always say to them, yesterday. Somebody's waiting on you. Somebody is looking for the absolute answer to that book. Your responsibility is to, number one, put it out there, and then number two, position it where and in a way that people can find it. So the where is Amazon. 95-ish% of all books being sold are being sold off of Amazon. All right. And then the how is making sure that the keywords, the categories, the description are set up properly. You want to be clear. Clarity is powerful. You want to be clear what the book's about, who's it for, those kind of things. You want to position it in the right categories with the right keywords, that it is, intentionally using the words that people are searching for. You got to know who you're talking to in order to be able to know then what they're using as the words that they want to use to seek out and look for people. Okay? So, that is really huge and really, really important. All right? You got to have that set up. But then you've got to have a methodology for marketing that book. How are you sharing it? How are you sharing it in social media? What are you using it as part of your video, YouTube, reels, those kind of things, campaigns? Are you taking little quotable quotes? I mean, I see so many people that do quotes as part of their normal, regular social media, posting strategy. I like quotes. Why wouldn't you be using your own quotes? Why quote, and I'm talking amazing people, why quote C.S. Lewis? Why quote Abraham Lincoln? Why quote Dr. Martin Luther King? Et cetera, et cetera. Maya Angelou. So many great people I could name. And not quote you. I'm not saying stop quoting those people, but I'm saying quote yourself too. You put that book out. You've got it. You are an authority in your space. Here and now is the place where you need to use that and be the one to do it. Now, I understand that I'll promote later. I can't really afford it. I have a very limited budget. All of those kind of things. I understand all those reasons. I've made every single last one of them just with my own books, let alone on the behalf of all of my authors. Spent years as a marketing expert getting people to bestseller and then not helping them keep that going. My bad. Okay. And I've spent most of this last year really talking to you about clarity, consistency to connect so that you can really make that impact. Because marketing is something you have to continually do. As soon as you stop your marketing, you've started your business dying. You really have killed it. It may, it may take a while to bleed out. But without the marketing, what you're doing is not going to work, period. And that's really harsh. And I don't mean it that way, but it's the truth. We really, 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 really need to have a marketing plan. And then we need to do it consistently. What you do today is going to really start showing up in a difference in 90 days. But what you do right today, you can begin to start seeing the impact of it right now today. And then when you consistently continue to do that, you will have the impact. You will make the difference. You will see how well it works. I've seen it happen. Like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years, really longer than that, but as an official company, 40 years. Because we're into February now, so we're past our 40-year anniversary now. Technically speaking, I started selling at 5. So if you wanted to go back then, I'm 59. That's, 54 years of sales and marketing experience. But I can tell you that you can have the greatest product in the world, and if you don't step out the front door and show it, share it with somebody, it's never going to sell. If you don't have a plan for the thing to be where people are and for people to know that it's what they're looking for, they're not going to know how to or even do the things to find it. Bestsellers at the beginning, writing the book was the start. Launching it was great. Making it onto the bestseller list, which so many people have, essentially my program that they've duplicated in one way or another. So many people have used that now. But what are you doing after that? What is the next step? What is the ongoing process for marketing your book? You want to be a speaker. You want to be a coach. You've got a great product that you want to sell. People need you to tell them who, what, when, where, why, all of those things consistently on and on and on. When you get to, I love this. I read this somewhere just yesterday. They were talking about how when you've gotten to the point where you feel like you have posted it so much that everywhere you go, everybody is constantly hearing what you're saying about a particular topic. That's when you know you've started. It's like, wow, that's amazing. That's really the truth. We always talk about Oprah, kind of being the ultimate version of marketing things. If you could get on Oprah's favorite things list for Christmas, you were guaranteed to sell through, sell out, explode your company, grow exponentially. But that happened from years and years and years and years and, 2.5 decades of exposure. And if you think about it, okay, number one, O Magazine doesn't exist anymore. Lots of reasons. But, so now there's not an Oprah's favorite things list that comes out in the November-ish, edition of O Magazine because it's not there anymore. And there are more and more and more people who, when you talk about Oprah and her influence on the world, they're like, Oprah who? It's becoming less and less because she retired. And that's okay. We all can retire. And if you want to be retired, that's a whole different discussion, totally different topic. But if you've got this book and you want to do it, you need to consistently be pushing it. Okay, I've beaten that dead horse way too much. What I want you to know is if you have a book and you're not sure what to do, or you're not sure if what you're doing is working, or you just would like, a free evaluation on it, drop the link down below. Put it in the comments. I'm going to, look at your book and give you a couple of suggestions. If you'd like to go deeper than that, you can check it out. You can actually go to askstevekidd.com and schedule a time to talk to me. Because I'm here to help you be visible, be valuable, be seen, be known. Momentum doesn't show up when you're ready. It shows up when you stay present with the message that you already carry. That's how your book is going to stop being quiet and start working. Start showing up today. I'm here to help any way I can. I hope you have an amazingly wonderful day. We'll be back again tomorrow. And until then, have a great week.